All right, it's kind of late morning, Sunday. The weather is supposed to be cooler. And what I'm gonna do here is do a little jog / hike, and maybe in some parts, from here, which is Rubio Canyon, up Lone Tree Trail, to Muir Peak, and then I think down Castle Canyon, and part of Sam Merrill, and show you the shortcut back here. So yeah. All right, so this is where I'm gonna be returning. And just a little further, instead of going up the canyon this way, you're gonna go down here. Yeah, instead of going up the canyon, right, going up the creek bed, what we do is cross over, follow this trail, which I think is maybe part of Altadena Crest, that whole trail network. If you go up here, right, yeah, okay, so that's not where you go. Instead you go up here, and then there's a bunch of crazy switchbacks, very steep sections, and some climbing we're gonna do until we get up to the fire road near Peak. All right, so there's this little sign here, and I've done it before. If you take that trail, you do get to Rubio Creek. I'm going up that way, and I came up this way, and just so you're aware, it doesn't look like it here, but the switchbacks are quite steep, so just be prepared for that. I'm just kind of doing this now because it's cooling down. I need to get in shape for long trail runs up peaks that I try to avoid in the summer. But I guess first of this cool season is gonna be Muir Peak. So yeah. All right, here where you touch the antenna towers, Lone Tree. I came up that way. There's actually another way you can come up. You go a little further east, which is that way. The connection point right over there, once you pass the lowermost, one of the electrical towers, transmission lines on the trail, you keep going, and then you wind up breaking, off of the San Merrill trail to come down trail that goes along this little ridge, right? And then there's some switchbacks there, and you're about there, which is roughly where I parked, so it's good that exists. Saves you from running in the city. Most of the trail is decent, but some of it you need to kind of scramble up, so that's where I came from. Ran into this little scramble. Not too hard, but just so you know. All right, so this little ridge, I kind of like to call halfway. It might not be, oops. Guess there are a few things I might have liked to call halfway, but pretty much you come out here, and you're up along this ridge here, and you keep going good ways up there. To be honest, this might be past halfway. All right. So I just came up this way, part of the Lone Tree Trail, and got to what I call the top of the Lone Tree Trail. Might be some old water tower up there. But yeah, just up that way, there's a route that goes up to Muir Peak and then back down to this fire road. If you keep going along this fire road, you also get to Inspiration Point. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is just go up here, right? So one of these spots, I guess, and make my way to the trail that goes up to Muir Peak. So yeah. So real quickly, right above that, whatever that is, maybe a water container, some sort of silo. I think this is the actual way. If you come up that way, that you walk up, but you can also walk up right there. And yeah, this trail right here, you go up and takes you to the peak. All right, I'm at Muir Peak. Came up that way, right? You can even see the, you can see that water tower silo thing right there. We got kind of Wilson, maybe Mount Disappointment, I forget, there's a few of them over here. That one is Mount Low, San Gabriel Peak, I think. You know, I've done both of those, coming out Castle Canyon to, I think, Mount Low usually. I've done Mount Low a few times. I think San Gabriel Peak, coming up the Don Mine Trail to Tom Sloan's Saddle, and making my way up a few little connections to get to San Gabriel Peak. But there's also a parking spot up near Mount Wilson you can park at and just run directly or hike directly to these peaks. So I think that's good to know about. But yeah, might rest a little here for a sec and then head down towards Inspiration Point and then Castle Canyon and then the San Marrow Trail and then a connector to Rubio Canyon. And yeah. So I was here actually in March, I think, and you know, I kind of stopped doing a lot of the trails in the summer. It gets the trails like this in the summer, it gets kind of hot, but yeah, in March, I came up here and this year had a very wet year, so it was really snowy actually. And what happened was I came up and then I got back on that fire road and I'm like, oh wow, all of a sudden there's a lot of snow. So it's about a mile of sort of jogging through the snow until I got out to Inspiration Point. I think below that it was pretty nice. But yeah, just if you come here in the winter season, when it's snowy, you know, just be aware of that because you might run into some of the snow when you don't expect to, and it can be a little slippery. Okay, I made it up from this way. There's the peak, some of the bigger peaks in the background. I'm just gonna jog down this way now, and this should connect me back to that fire road we were at. And then yeah, I'll make my way out to Inspiration Point and show you guys the rest. All right. So you can see we're approaching that fire road right here. You can see it says Muir Peak right there. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep jogging along this way to Inspiration Point. This is Inspiration Point here. You can see the little sign. Yeah. So there are all these little locators. The idea is, if you're using, you can sort of see all of these locations. So, yeah, it's a little area. Let's see. There'd be a mirror. Something about the telescope views here. And yeah. Alright, instead of going to Mount Low or something like that, I'm gonna go down to Echo Mountain via Castle Canyon Trail and then down San Marrow. Alright, I just came down this part of the trail. Right, and what you're gonna want to do when you come down, you might see this here, is you're gonna go right, you know, down kind of across the wash instead of going left and whatnot. So yeah, just good to be aware of that if you come down. All right, so I'm out of the kind of main forested area back there. The trail keeps kind of going out that way and comes back this way to Echo Mountain, which is over there. All right, so this is a pretty reliable spring. I think it's normally flowing. It's been always flowing in extreme drought. Since we've had kind of a wet year, it's doing pretty good. And I have a Grail water purifier bottle that I can use to purify this. So I'm gonna go down to one of the bigger pools and do that. All right, so this is the bottle. I'm gonna do my best to sort of film this. So what I like to do is first remove the cap and then take this out. It's fine if you set that down, you just don't want anything to get in there really. Find some pretty clear water, it doesn't have to be perfect, like this. You know, bring that up, you know, and then
to set that down on something flat. This in here, and you gotta have that open so you know, you don't build up a bunch of pressure in the bottle, but you use your body weight. Just kind of relax and it'll fill up. Yeah, so far, I mean, this trail I've only ran into 4 people. So maybe it's the time of year. I did less mountains this year, I guess, but in March I did this one time, and I came down, a little more than once, but I came down and yeah, I ran into like 3 or 4 people I know, I think, like, for work. Abby, Richard, I think Calvin, maybe even more, but yeah. So it's a popular trail, especially San Merrill section beneath, downhill from Echo Mountain. But yeah, so there's the water. I'm gonna do that a few more times, and just to fill this up. And then I'm just gonna run out. You know, I'm pretty close to home, but I just like it's a good habit to fill up the water, especially for some of these longer runs. Where, I mean, this is the only water I've seen on the trip, so not a lot, right? Yeah. So I just came out from there. You can see there's some cool stuff here. Some of the Mount Low ruins from the railway. Yeah, whatever. But I'm gonna show you the route to take to go down. So back there is San Merrill, but I've got to awkward holding all this stuff. Okay. So right over here. Yeah, this is the way you go down, and I'll show you where you detach from this trail too to get back to Rubio Canyon without running in the city. Just to be clear, I just passed the power lines going on San Merrill, but this is where you would go to go towards the lake. We're gonna go this way. It takes me down to Rubio, so yeah. So this is Rubio Canyon. There's a trail down up there which connects to Lone Tree eventually, but it's not Lone Tree. The route we went up is sort of along that ridge, and you can see some switchbacks maybe right there that are part of it. But yeah, I mean, this one looks like it's been maintained pretty recently. Also, I can slightly hear water in the canyon, so that makes me sort of want to go up and check out the waterfall. But I'll do that another day. I gotta get back, so yeah. All right, just been running down this, about where I started. Just gotta drop back to my car. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah.